Good morning, welcome back. I think this morning we'll mostly just read a few verses from Romans 12. It's this portion there as it describes the healthy spiritual life as part of the body of Christ. Paul makes this very clear suggestion, or how would I say it, very clear point, though maybe not stated like this, but it's very clear, I think. So let's just look at verse 3. For I say through the grace given to me, unto every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as God has dealt to every man the measure of faith. And then verse 6, having the gifts differing according to the grace that is given unto us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith. And then, of course, he goes on to describe many other calls, gifts, and places in the body to function in. And the core point here, I think, is it can be stated very simply. Paul is saying it's not about how shiny it is. It's not about how fancy your position is. It's not about trying to be impressive. It's about being functional and about functioning in a healthy way. Okay, so this, maybe you're not tempted by this, maybe you are. But the point is, our cultures very much promote success and like greatness in some way. Numbers, likes, audience, money, people reached, whatever. It's like how many Bible verses do you use in your teaching class? Okay, so or something of the sort. The point is that it's easy to start measuring success in the ministry of God, and it's also wrong because here it very clearly says, do not think yourself more highly than you ought to think. Your success is not about, you cannot properly, you cannot correctly, you cannot truly measure your success. Maybe you start a church, maybe there is, 5,000 people in a year. Is that successful? And the world would say yes, and maybe you think so too. But maybe God, it depends. Maybe God is saying, awesome, that's the way to do it. Maybe he is not interested in that number. Maybe he's interested in something entirely different. The point is very simple. It can be like, we can start functioning, we can adopt the culture and success standards of success of the world. And then we can try to become a star in that system. And Romans 12 does not speak about that. He tells us, use your gift according to your measure, to the measure given to you. And that means, one thing is, it's not for me to consider whether I'm successful or not. It is for me to consider whether I'm functional or not, whether I'm functioning as according to the gift that has been given to me. Another thing, of course, is that it is not my place to be everything in the body of Christ. Let's say, I'm a pastor, okay, but I cannot help everybody. I cannot be a friend to everybody. I cannot be that person in that moment to comfort to everybody. To some, hopefully, to many, but also not everybody. I am not called to be everything in the body of Christ, and you are not either. That's awesome, I think. You don't have to have all the gifts, all the answers, all the faith. It's not your place. It's not my place. We are free to be exactly who God made us to be. And, if God has made you a big toe, then be an awesome big toe, a very functional big toe, okay? And that's just the point. God is not looking to make you, or God is not looking, when he's looking at you, he's not looking for like a superstar Christian, okay? He's calling you to be a functional member in the body. And maybe it's through hospitality, maybe it's through teaching, maybe it's through just quiet investment, maybe it's through preaching, maybe it's through evangelism. I don't know, but God is calling you to something. Be awesome at that, and that's your place. So this, I think, takes the pressure off of you today. You don't have to single-handedly save the world. You just have to do your part. Be in that position and function in that position, and then trust that God will do the rest, and the body of Christ will be there also with you. So I hope that helps. God bless your day.